Well, good evening, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really honored to be invited tonight, and I never thought I'm going to be 17 years ago. I said in my apartment, I never thought I would, in my life, I'm going to deal with a group of policymakers. Well, I'm not a technical expert, I'm not even economist, and I'm not a bank governor. And I even not be a good student. I tried 3 times for joining the primary schools, 3 times for universities, and 10 times for Harvard, including. All rejected. And I was rejected by more than 30 times applying for jobs, including KFC. 25 of us went there, and 24 accepted. I was the only one rejected. I think the reason why I'm invited here, I would talk about in the past 17 years in my apartment. We had a dream that we want to using internet to help small guys, to help the small business and entrepreneurs. It's not easy in the past 17 years. I call myself like a blind man riding on the back of blind tigers. Without knowing anything about business, technology, and even without any money, we start the business. 17 years, we never stop. We never stop innovate. We never stop to change. We never stop to fight for the dreams we believed. Years ago, I was in Beijing in winter. It was a very cold winter. And on the lake, there is a dead duck. And I was curious, people say, why a dead duck? Because that duck, in the summertime, he had a wonderful time with the wild ducks and the swans. When winter comes, all the wild ducks and the swans left away, and that duck was stupid, stayed there. And the winter came. The winter killed him. As an entrepreneur, we learn one thing. If we cannot change the environment, we change ourselves. If we cannot change, at least we can change the small environment we have. Me and these early founders, we had a very little knowledge about financing. When Alipay was founded, nobody wanted to be the CEO. Nobody wanted to be the founder. And I called one of my managers. His background was a hotel front desk manager. I say, come on, I have something, want you to do it. He said, what is that? I say, Alipay. He said, what is Alipay? I say, it's something that dealing with the financing, helping people. He said, I have no any idea about financing. I said, that's it. I want you to do it because China, we don't want to find somebody who are expert of banking because China does not need one more bank. We want to find the people who understand the problem of the people, understand the problem of the consumers. We want to build up something that safe transactions, can build up something that can build up the credit system for small business and consumers to buy online. So we made it. Today, Alipay is the world's largest online payment. We know little about retailer. I remember 7 years ago, I talked to senior manager or leaders of the Walmart. I said 10 years later, we will be bigger than Walmart. He said, young man, you have very good, very wonderful dream, but this thing will never happen. Last year, we were bigger than Walmart. Why we did retail without knowing anything about retailer? Because my friend, 10 years ago, he said, Jack, I'm a manufacturer of TVs. For every TV we made, we only made $10. For all the consumers spent hundreds of money because of the channels. So we believe we should use the internet to help those manufacturers. If they can only make $10, how can you help, how can you encourage them to be innovative? So we did the retailer, we changed ourselves to making sure manufacturers are happy, consumers happy. Today, we are the world's largest retail platform in the world. We know very little about technology, and we're scared of technology, especially me. When we talk about technology, I say, no, it's so scary. But we find this world can never live without technology. Without technology, this world can never develop. And young people embrace the technology. Today, there are about 1.8 billion people who were born after 1980s. Those are the generations of the internet. So if we want to have a future, let's rely on the young people. If we do not know the technology, let's find the best young people who know the technology and encourage them, support them, help them to be successful. But today, Alibaba is if we are not the leading internet company in the world, we are at least the leading internet companies in China. So today, I would love to talk about science, technology, economy, and these are innovation, three talking points. About technology revolution. The first technology revolution is to release the energy of the people. So people, we know that people is going to be powerful, and machine is going to be more powerful than human. The second technology, the energy revolution, is to make people to go further. By leveraging the machines, we can go further. We can go to the moon, go to the Mars, and we know the machine is going much faster. And this technology revolution is to release the human brains. And we believe, whether you like it or you don't like it, nobody can stop this technology revolution. Whether you're government officers, whether you're business people, you're civilian, or you're nobody, in next 30 years, your life will be totally changed because of this revolution. And those people change themselves to suit this technology, you are the winner. Those who don't will be the loser. And in the future, we believe data is going to be the raw materials. It's going to be like the water, electricity, and oil. I think before people understand, human beings understand how to use the oil, people can never imagine. Today, we're using this kind of energy to go to the moon. Today, a lot of people don't know how to use the data. You will never imagine 30 years later what data can change human beings. And nobody can imagine that. And one thing I want to say, people say, oh my God, the machine is stronger, machine is faster. And I tell
很高兴你能看到这个视频，相信你也是一个有梦想、不甘于平凡的人。我是互联网创业的先行者潘霞教练。如今互联网已经是趋势了，你在玩手机、电脑的同时，有没有想过通过一部手机就可以创业，实现有钱有闲的生活呢？我们已经帮助了很多80后、90后，还有50多岁的网盲大姐，甚至还有残疾人，通过我们这个平台买房买车，实现了有钱有闲的生活。如果你也渴望成功，那么请记下我的联系方式，我的微信是99632854，99632854。朋友，了解不会失去什么，但拒绝了解可能会错失良机。谢谢。
Killing jobs. We believe technology is going to create more jobs. Right? People say, well, technology is destroying the job opportunities. But see one thing, technology, actually every technology revolution, we created more jobs than we thought. In 1870s, more than 50% of the jobs in America were farmers. Now, 100 years past, there are only less than 2% of the jobs are farmers. How can people tell 100 years ago that when the technology comes, it's going to create more jobs like today? And China is the same. People say, well, e-commerce destroy a lot of jobs. No, not necessarily. 10, 20 years ago, China had a huge industry called real estate development. There are hundreds of thousands of people working in the construction field. Today, there's no real estate market there. Where do these people go? They go to the express delivery. They go to logistics. So 10 years ago in China, there is no such called industry called express delivery. Now we've got 4 million people working on that. We believe next 10 years, we're going to create at least 10 million jobs on delivery in 10 years. And also we find that if the online, offline combine better, that it can create even more jobs. We noticed that in the past months with our data shows that those like a text, those like a eating, having fun, using mobile payment and data to support their business. Every month there's 6% growth. So I'm not the economist because most of economists by getting the information of yesterday and understand today. The business people try to see the vision, the tomorrow, and then understand the today.
不管你愿不愿意承认， 我们的生活都已经被移动互联网一网打尽了。我们有一个共同的身份——低头族。2015年底，中国互联网络发展状况统计报告显示，全球网民人数逼近40亿，中国手机网民达7.8亿。2015年，中国电子商务市场交易规模为16.4万亿，增长22.7%。2015年双11，天猫实现交易额912.17亿元，其中无线交易额为626亿元，占比高达68.67%。我们的生活已经离不开互联网，购物有淘宝，旅游有携程，出行有滴滴，本地消费有美团，交友有微信。我们成就了无数的互联网大亨，但你希望互联网也成就你吗？如果能让您有机会借助网络，在您玩手机或电脑的同时，玩出一份不错的收入，你想要吗？
现在不是钱难赚了，而是赚钱的方式变了。如今互联网时代，你是否想过让手机变成我们赚钱的工具？如果你目前很迷茫，找不到赚钱的方向，那么这就是你最佳的事业机会。一部手机，一台电脑，人到哪里，钱就赚到哪里。让你在玩手机的同时，可以玩出不错的收入。在这里有人教，有人帮，有人带，没有风险，没有压力。想赚钱，加雄伟教练微信7100280577，7100280557。真正的精彩在后面等着你。
Many years ago, the New York people, about 100 years ago, before the car was invented, people used horse carts. And when we have the horse carts, a lot of people debating one thing: how can we clean the horse manures? Because they're a big problem. How can you make the roads clean and meanwhile have the transportation? When the cars discovered, this problem never exists. And I want to tell you one other thing, is the regulators. Regulators are very interesting. When the cars were invented, because the traditional business of horse carts were very, very unhappy. They'll say that we should not let the cars to be on the road. The regulators, because of the pressures they got, they said, okay, the cars can only drive on the road if their speed is slower than the horse carts. And this is what exactly happened, and it's happening today. So we believe that if you cannot solve the problem today, if you cannot see the situation today, let's see tomorrow. About the economy, people say, well, today, world economy has a big problem. Tell me any day that the world economy has no problems. We have problems all the times. We believe one thing, notice that 50 years ago, in the past 50 years, we most have a problem every 9 years. Now we are having problems almost every 2 years, or every year we have problems. That is sending a strong signal. Something wrong with the system. We need to do something. And also would like, whether you like it to change or not, something is going to happen. And whether you like it, somebody is going to change. 50 years, today our economy is better than 50 years ago. And 50 years later, the economy will definitely be better than today. And the economy has a problem. When economy has a problem, people start to complain. They complain about the technology. They complain about the globalization. And I think what we should complain about is, did we get the message? Internet was not happen today. Internet happened 20 years ago. Did you get it? A lot of people just did not get the strong message we said. So about the economy, have we got the message that we need to do something to change? So I would say today's problem definitely is not caused by technology. It is the problem we caused because we did not use the technology in the right way or efficiently. And today the problem is not caused by globalization. People hate trade, people hate globalization. I think globalization is great. Whether you like it or don't like, globalization is going to be continued. But in the past 20 or 30 years, globalization was benefit to those rich companies, big companies, developed nations, 80% of the small business did not benefit. So what we should figure out is how we can use the technology, how can we use the policies to help small guys, help small business, developing nations to be globalized. So we believe the world in the past years is 2080. We supported 20% of the business, 20% of the world to support the 80%. We believe the 80% of the resting that unsupported, those are the potentials of the future. And also would like to say people think about the China economy. I am pretty confident. I'm very excited about the China economy in the long term, in the future. Because China, the problem, economic problem, is about upgrading. I would say the three, which is exporting, investment, and these heavy investment will never last long because the China environment cannot sustain if we continue to do economy in the old way. China is upgrading, and China is moving from those old economy to services, high technology, and domestic consumption. China is transforming from government-driven to market-driven. So I would say for the short term, it's very painful. For the long term, I'm pretty confident, especially with my industry. Our company, last quarter, we still got more than 30% growth, even at our size. So about financial innovations, I think the essence of the Internet of Financing is based on the big data to build up a new credit system. And I would say that the traditional financial system are based on the IT technology. The IT technology, it's very expensive in the past years. The other thing is the traditional, the financial system based on the people you know about the 关系. Only I know you, and I know being doing more things. We have a dinner, especially in China. We have a dinner, I understand you, meeting you personally, and then I can give you loans. But today, with our financial system, with the new data financial system, we don't want to know the people. We giving people the loans purely based on the behavior credit data systems we made. And the new Internet of Financial system is not trying to change or turn over the old traditional financial system. It is the complementary, the traditional financial system. It's the system that we want to help 80% of the business, of the consumers, of the small business that's never be benefited. I got a big bank, we had a big debate years ago. He said, Jack, what Ali Financing is doing, what you are doing, everything you do, we can do it. I said, yes, sir, of course you can do everything we do. First, you did not do it. Second, if you do it, take you 3 months. If we do it, only 3 weeks. If you do it, takes you $100. If we do it, only $10. We respect a lot about the Dr. Muhammad Yunus, who got the Nobel Prize winner for the inclusive financings. But what we've been achieved in the past 5 years, we did 5 times bigger than the 40 years Dr. Yunus put together. We're using data. We have given loan to more than 500 billion RMB and most of the business, they got money from us, less than $5,000 US. And our system is called 310. Within 3 minutes, people apply online, we will give a response whether we'll give you money or not. Within 1 second, the money will be in your account. 0 people touch. This is how we did. This is we have given in the past 5 years, more than 3 small businesses get loans from us. So we believe at the end, the innovation of technology is going to push the regulators to change. And we believe regulators will change very quickly. And today everybody is encouraging innovation, but innovation is not the other people's issue. Innovation is about you, it's about everything the regulator and government want to do it. I went to the World Basketball Association, went to the museum. It was a very interesting story. You know, the first basketball, it was really a basket on the top. The guy who invented the ball, threw into the ball, and then somebody will rush there, use a ladder to take the ball out, and then continue to play. It took 18 years. Somebody said, shall we cut the bottom down and the basket inside? 18 years. That thing changed. There's no people to use the ladders. And then because of that change, a lot of things changed. The referee changed. The rules changed. There's been no person to use the ladders. And that really made today the basketball is really entertaining and more people would love to do it. And I'm here not as trained as the expert of technology. I know nothing about computers. The only thing I know about computers and send and receive the emails and browse. But I would not say I know about the internet. People say, wow, you are the expert of the internet and e-commerce. I would say today there's no expert of the internet. There's no expert of e-commerce. What we are doing today, the e-commerce, 10 years later will be totally different. And nobody could imagine today for Alibaba what the GMV we achieved, the sales we achieved is close to $500 billion last year. That is ranking number 6 province GDP of China. And in 3 years, our GMV is going to be bigger than the number 20 state of the world. What we believe that in the future, there will be a virtual economy that is going to be the 5th largest economy of the world. If that is Alibaba, it's going to be somebody. That new economy is going to enable every small business, enable every individual. If you have a mobile phone, you can buy and sell anywhere. If you have a car, you can build Uber. If you have a ceiling, you can sell your solar electricity to everywhere in the world. If you have small land, you plant the potatoes. Normally, you can only sell in a small town in your towns. Today, using the internet technology, you can sell everywhere in the world. So this is what we believe. And we believe it's not the technology that changed the world. It's the dreams behind the technology that changed the world. It's the dream, it's the spirit of innovation. It's the spirit of the change. Whether you like it or not, change is there. And we believe 10 years later or 50 years later, there will be more successful business. There will be more successful business people. There will be more smart regulators than today. And this is what we believe. Thank you very, very much.